Junior Market Steer Show. We've got a leader in the clubhouse. Catch a Calf people are ready, and we don't even have to judge out in the arena. There are leaders in the clubhouse for being ready. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Got 8 of them coming out in this Catch a Calf program. Let's put your hands together. These kids do a lot of work, and they take these cattle to 3 shows, Denver included. Congratulate these Catch a Calf winners for going at it all year long. Nice job, kids. Well, Miles is coming back for us in this Market Steer Show. You know, Miles is from Illinois there, been to all the shows and judges hogs and steer cattle, beef cattle all across, all the majors. So we're glad to have him back for this Junior Market Steer Show. This Catch Calf program, we're going to lead them in. Gavin Broda, Wyatt Cook, Aiden Johnson, Kyler Heath, Taylor Frank, Braden Jacobson, Sawyer Sauter, and Brianna Hollingsworth's going to finish them out. I tell you what, I've seen Catch Calves over the years, and that program's been with us a long time down there at Stock Show, but if this is any indication of what the rest of the cattle look like, this is a nice set of cattle for Catch Calves going to Stock Show. These kids are doing an excellent job with them. Lee is ready for Class 2 back here, Market Steer Show. Class 2, the holding area is yours. Please check in with her as normal. We're going to have 5 classes of steers here. So this is Class 1 in Market Steer Show. Class 2 be lining up here. Should be 6 head in Class 2 of the Market Steer Show. Same as always here, Ringside Live's bringing that to America, and the Cheyenne Livestock Expo Facebook page has got that on there also. Legacy Livestock Images, they're taking pictures for us. Hey, Pine Bluffs Distilling is good and ready to go all afternoon long here. Stop by them. stop by the Freeman show trailer over there. They'll be glad to take care of you. They got Sullivan supplies plus some extras. So I think it looks like right now we're bringing 2 back per class for that overall, 2 back per class. A second call, Class 2. Second call, Class 2. At the makeup area, please. Catch Calf program here is part of the stock show's steers that they do.
Well, a great way to start our market steer show, and I appreciate the Cheyenne Livestock Expo doing what they're doing. And I know that you families, whether you've done it or this is your first time, this is something that's very new, obviously not new to the Denver Stock Show, but most importantly new probably to some jackpot settings, and then as we get towards these expo shows like this. And so I very much appreciate them, and I know that you folks probably do as well. And while we just got a second here, let's give them a nice round of applause for allowing this to happen for these kids and get their calves out. Before Denver, before their Catch a Calf program, and if you don't know what happens, I just learned a little bit more about it. And it's a very intriguing program. It's a very unique program, and I don't know anywhere else in the state or anywhere else in the country that does things like what that these folks are doing. And so allowing these kids to get some calves and do this, and then, you know, hopefully it's a good project for them. Hopefully they want to come back into the business and do things as well. But, man, we've got a really good group of them them. We could have just called it a Hereford show because we've got 8 of them out here, I believe. 8 of them that are really high quality. We got a dang nice calf to win this particular class. And, buddy, I don't know if you know how nice he is, but he's pretty good. Big top, thick-ended, very good in his body. His structure's built good whenever he's standing. We could let him loosen up in his heel just a bit. But, man, that is a really nice project for him. It looks like he's feeding well. He handles the best. A good calf to win this particular class. The one that's second, I told my buddy here, his calf's a little skinny yet. He's not just the biggest and the heaviest out here, but I really like his structure. He's still a muscular calf whenever you get your hands on him. He's a good-bodied calf that's being fed very well, and he comes presented very well to us, and I appreciate that boy doing a good job. He's not as stout as our class winner, and I know that that's pretty general, but he's not just as big backed. He's not just as thick as you get right in behind him, nor is he just as high tying up front, but a good built one that's good bodied and looks like he's going to continue to feed right. I like the framework and the stoutness of this calf that ends up in third, really bold in his upper rib. He gets a little rounder in his hip. He's maybe not just as athletic in his hock usage as what the top pair of cattle are, but man, once he stops and stands, he'll give you a good look of a fat steer. In terms of his depth of body, he's probably the best conditioned cattle of these top 3 or 4 of them in the way that he's being fed. I wish he was just a little looser moving. Like to give him just a shot of lower hip as you step in behind him. This young lady's doing a great job and got a calf here that she's come presented to us nicely, long-necked and extended, and he's bigger in his frame. And what I'd tell you is give him all the feed he wants from here on out. He's going to be big come Denver, but man, we want to put a little fat on him. His structure's good, his bones are big, his feet are big, and he's got a nice look to him. Calf that comes here next, he looks like the total opposite. He's ate everything she's put in front of him, it looks like, man. He's big-bodied, he's moderate, and he's really thick. I just didn't know about his structure. Now, if you're okay with it, he might be one of the best ones in class. I mean, he's thick, moderate, big back, big-ended, good-bodied. I just wanted to loosen him up in his top and just open him in the way that he goes right there to his rear toe and foot, let him get out here and just track a little more comfortably. And I think probably getting his hooves cleaned up will allow him to be just a shade more comfortable. I like the build of this calf. He needs to be wider and stouter. I thought that this one probably had more weight, obviously, on his side. I didn't know about his structure. I didn't think he was just quite as good looking up front, but again, a powerfully top steer that's good in the shape of his hip, and his quarter gets just a little more tubular about his body, a little more upright up front. Young lady's calf is no slouch either. I just talked about one that needs some feeding time, and that's him too. Hopefully he does that for her. We get him back and we just push him on the feed, and then that calf's quality will start to prevail. He's very nice looking. He's very nice built. He's just a little flatter and a little skinnier, a little harsher bodied. Great job. My compliments to Cheyenne Youth Expo, or the Expo here. My compliments to those kids on bringing a quality set of steers.
Class 1 Market Steer Show. Let's pay him off like this. With class winner, Sawyer Sauter. Second, Aiden Johnson. Third, Braden Jacobson. Fourth, Brianna Hollingsworth. Fifth, Kyler Heath. Sixth, Gava Broda. 7, Wyatt Cook. And we'll finish it out with Taylor Frank. Class 2 Market Steer Shows in the ring. Bo Carlson, Maddie Brown, Harper Hargett, Clayton Barch, Ty Weathers, and Riley Harmon is going to be your Class 2 Market Steers. They're weighing from 1175 to 1269. Class 3, makeup area is yours. Should be 9 of you when you get there. Class 3, please. Hey, remember now, let's thank some of our sponsors and vendors. Our vendors are out here in the breezeway set up to bring you their version of some of the best Stuff that you can buy for Black Friday, for Christmas, for your winter supply, from jewelry to clothing. So Pine Bluff Distilling's out there. We've got clippers out there. We've got, like I say, the clothes. Do your Christmas shopping here. It all helps out at the Cheyenne Livestock Expo. Sullivan Supplies at the other end. Freeman Show Boxes selling them. Let's go to the Pine Bluffs Distilling. Make your afternoon, and there's ways that you can take some of that home with you. That's that great homemade whiskey from down here at Pine Bluffs. Sponsors of the show. It's kind of neat to know that Pine Bluffs Whiskey donates 60 bottles. That we use a lot of that for the open shows, but we use a lot of that whiskey. They donate 60 bottles out of a barrel. They let the directors of the Livestock Expo here go out there and pick out which barrel they want. They do a little barrel tasting, really kind of a neat atmosphere, and Pine Bluffs Distilling donates that. And then part of their sales, a large portion of their sales, they donate back to the show. So it's a really good advertising tool for them. They do a great job. Been with us every year at the Cheyenne Expo. Class 2 steer shows in the ring. Class 3's makeup area, please. Hey, they've let me know here. Make sure you double check what class you're in. There's just 5 steers of this market beef show, but also the same thing in showmanship. Try to get up to us here in the right class. That really helps us a lot. So double check your classes and then check in with Leah here. It helps us a lot trying to keep this show moving, keeping it fresh, keeping people entertained here, because that's part of what makes a lively and a nice show. Yeah, Dylan.
A dang good class. Again, as we get to class 2 of our market steers, in a really good calf to win. Combining the differences between what is in 2 and 3, he's got the look of quality of the steer that's in 2 with the body and the substance of the steer that ends up in 3. And then fortunately for him, he's got the best running gear underneath the power that he's got up top. big-bodied, thick-ended, good back steer that's being fed well, and he comes presented to us very well. A good calf to win this particular class. I spent a little more time between 2 and 3, and I think that pair could be flipped depending on your priorities. The calf that I use in second, I know gives up some weight and some body maturity, but man, I like his shape. I love his look, and his hind leg is built for speed. To me, he's longer from hooks back to pins. He's square in his pin set, more opened up whenever you step right in behind the cattle. Why isn't he a class winner? He's a little more tubular about his body. He's a little harsher in his rib. I hope that comes for him, and if it does, I'd say that calf gets really good because he's got such a quality look. He plants and goes off of a great big hind leg. He knows how to use it well. I'd fix the twist of his front end. I'd soften his body just a shade, and that's what makes it close. The black steer from mid-spine to navel, definitely deeper, softer, and soggier, a little easier feeding look to him relative to the steer that ends up here in second. The calf, whenever I step in behind him, he opens big in the middle of his back, but he narrows from there to his pin set. He's the narrowest from there to the surface amongst the top 3. And then from this profile view, as good as he is from chest to mid-rib, that calf's got to be better in his rear body and flank, but a stouty whenever you get up on top of him. Got a big feature underneath, good running gear behind. I wish he had more quarter twist and just power in his hip, but a good calf nonetheless from his sheath forward. Little gold calf is moderate stout, and he's a thick one for sure. I wish his hind legs worked better. I can do with the fact that he's maybe a little cresty up front, but he gets outside of himself moving behind. Up front, then we still want to set his blade back in him, give him a little neater look to his crest, and just tone him down in the setup of his shoulder. Black calf's nice. She's doing a good job with him, getting him fed. Deep-bodied, soggy-middled calf, takes off and goes good up front. Little pokey behind on a smaller set of rear feet. Got to relax his ankle, fix the shape of his hock, and just put more real muscle in that steer whenever you get your hands on him. Young lady's calf is not off quality by any means. I like his structure. I love his look. The calf, to me, gets the flattest in his rib, the narrowest down his top, the flattest whenever you get in behind him. Just needs more feed for me personally. I just want to soften him up, tone him down in his frame size a shot. Good job. Great class.
Great class, too. Thanks, Miles. Winner, Ty Weathers. Second, Bo Carlson. Third, Clayton Barch. Fourth, Maddie Brown. Fifth, Riley Harmon. Sixth, Harper Hargett. Class 3, Market Steer Shows entering the ring right now. Tavy Miller, Camden Hess, Reese Locke, Tatum Thompson, Hagen Harrison, Landry Hansen, Dallas Waltman, Emily Skippen, and Anthony Quick. Remember, if you want in that fitting contest this afternoon after the showmanship, Dylan Freeman's up here taking entries. He's going to close them about when showmanship starts. We're going to do a senior division, a junior division, and a mixed division. Sponsored by the Showtimes. Sullivan Supplies, which is Freeman Supplies, are sponsors of the fitting contest. We want to thank them for their support. Uncle Fred's Catering back there is sponsoring the sale tonight. We're going to have that sale at 6:30 tonight. Going to offer a lot of embryos out of some highly regarded cows and calves. Some great semen's going to come to us. I mean, we're talking Supreme Champion of the Junior Open Show. We're going to offer a flush on her. We're going to offer some full sib males to this steer that wins Louisville. We're going to offer, the Lynn's got us 3 different cows, 3 different flushes. They're going to offer us 3 embryos on 4 and 4 off of some of that stuff, and they just win roam when they go to sell cattle. And Brad Linton's bringing us a flush out of his 251 cow. Zwern, Levi's with Zwern, they're bringing us some style Patty O'Malley. Bicklin, JPF, they're going to offer some stuff on them Herefords that they have been winning here at the Expo and some high sellers lately. Jefferson Keller, he's got a cow that's produced all of her life. She's gone now, but he's going to part with a few of those embryos that are so sought after in the sale. So, sex semen out of Kingston, excuse me. But there's more than that. There's more to come, and that'll be tonight. I guarantee you there's going to be something that you might want to look at there. So join us at that pre-sale tonight, about 5:30, and we're going to have a sale after that. Hey, for a special deal here we got more semen. I just got aware of some more of that semen. Price Cattle Company, thank you. They're going to sell 5 units on the great one, 5 units on the weights over, 5 units on 6 shooters. So, you know what? And we've got more coming as we're going here. We're getting people to want to donate. So, thank you. Class 4 in the holding area. We're going to have to get a few more of you in there. Class 4, it's kind of a nice class there, so let's get you lined up. Class 4. Again, thanks to all the volunteers that help us here. You know, Pam Freeman's the show coordinator, board chairman, cattle superintendent, Jefferson Keller, swines, Krisha Geffert and Whitney Darr, and the sheep and goat, Dylan Freeman. Kyle Shaw and Zoe Ford to the makeup area, please. Kyle Shaw, Zoe Ford, makeup area, please.
A really good set of cattle. To me, it's pretty, to me, obvious, I would assume, and I don't know, as you look through the rest of the cattle, that it's not a good class. I mean, it certainly is. I thought these two stuck out like a sore thumb, and then I had to break down the little differences between them, in my opinion. Black and white calf that starts, he just a little more my speed in terms of his body type, his bone, and his foot size. I read him just a little more rugged right at the surface, and then whenever I get my hands on him, no doubt he's the better finished calf right now around his rib cage. Now, he's got a little crest. He's a little upright in his blade. I don't know that maybe he's just the neatest where his tail head's going to set, but I do think that calf is big and bold in his rib, big in his features, big in his feet, and yet still relative things. He moves good enough in this particular class. Now, little fresher outline, little neater looking calf here in 2. I think he ties up neat in his neck. He's the tighter chested, smoother shouldered option of the particular pair that opens up great big in his pin set. He's great big in his top line, and from the profile, he wins the class and does it in the smoke. Once I get my hands on him, he's pretty bare over his rib, and I think you can tell that from the outside looking in terms of his mid-body, his rear rib and flank. I'm pretty critical on where that guy's knee and front foot is as I step right in front of him. I didn't think he had as much bone. I didn't think he was just naturally as big-ankled and big-footed as my class winner, but hey, there's some trade-offs there. He's a little fresher. He's a little neater at the crest of his neck. He's got a beautiful top line. There hadn't been one as nicely presented come yet. A very nice calf there in 2. From there, it's about muscle, because I don't know that any of them maybe are just built perfect. This calf's got a great big back, a great big hip, and I love the turn of his mid-body and forerib. From there back, he needs more rear rib. He's got to drop down in his flank, and one time in motion, calf's down here in the middle of the class. Just in terms of structure, I'd like to fix both ends of his body. Orange calf is good built. He's nice to look at from the side. I get my hands on him, and he's the flattest muscled, and I think to me it's evident as well as you study him from behind. He's a little longer bodied and narrower topped and flatter upper bodied, and he just needs a wider pin set and more shape in his quarter for me personally. But I love his feet. I like his structure, and so it makes it tough there. He's a good built calf. This thing is moderate, wide, and chunky, man. Big backed and thick-ended, opened up in his shoulder, gets rounder in his hip, and then whenever I take him to the ground, as big as he is up high, I wish that calf was bigger footed down low just to match. And then in motion, I just got to set him back together off of his hind end. He really wants to kick and sway outside of his body. Young lady's calf obviously comes to us hairy. I don't mind it at all. I know what she's doing. She wants to keep it. She said for Arizona here in just a few short weeks, or a month and a half, whatever it is now. A nice built calf. My biggest criticism on him, not the hair. The calf gets just a little narrower backed, and he needs more feed right now to me. I think he gets just a little skinny bodied. He's a more upright in his ankle. Just needs some time, but man, she can really get him presented nice. Old Short Tail's a nice calf. I like his hind leg. I think he's good in his body shape. He gets a little rounder in his rump, not nearly as stout and powerful as I step in behind those cattle, but I think that pair was close from a standpoint of build. This one's a little nicer at his ankle. I think it makes it pretty close. A good calf there as she continues to feed on him. This steer here, to me, again, actually those were flipped. The black one comes next. Black one's good bodied, needs to be better structured on both ends. Black and white one again, big top, thick ended, a little more outward, and where he's going to set his elbow, his front foot, and his hind leg as we set those cattle in motion. Good job to him. Great class. My compliments to those kids.
Thanks, Miles. That was Class 3 Market Steer Show. Let's sort them this way. First, Tatum Thompson. Second, Tavy Miller. Third, Landrick Hansen. Fourth, Reese Locke. Fifth, Camden Hess. Sixth, Hagen Harrison. Seventh, Allison Waltman. And eighth, Emily Skippen. And ninth, Anthony Quick. Not sure I got them last three right, but hopefully I did. But, you know, this was our international class of steers there. Emily Skippens coming to us from Canada. We appreciate that. That makes this an international show. Thank you very much. International Class 3. Hey, Class 4, the arena's yours. Miles is ready to sort some of those good steers that you brought from us, weighing from 1369 to 1420. Kinsley Krebs, Carly Swink, Tyler Fisk, Jada Jensen, Kyle Shaw, Ellie Crosscobb, Violet McQuaid, Bradley Hermes, Zoe Ford, and Riley Joseph will finish Class 4. They're walking in the ring. Class 5, makeup area is yours. Class 5, come to the makeup area. Class 4's in the ring. Class 5, report to Lee in the makeup area. Class 5, makeup area, please. Again, let's pay some tribute and some thanks to our sponsors. Tallgrass, Visit Cheyenne, Pine Bluffs Distilling, Cheyenne Kubota, Tenco LLC, Equipment Share. They're kind of on our grand champion sponsors there. If you can, give them some kudos, give them some business, give them some thanks throughout the year. Reserve champion sponsors, Stock Show Secrets, ADM Show Check. And we'll drop down to some purple ribbon sponsors that are no less slighted, but they do help us a lot. We do appreciate each and every one of them. They all help us out, put this expo on. Murdoch's, Cooper Specialty Feed, Freeman Showbox, Transova, Essential Feeds, That First Bank of Wyoming, and the Wyoming Junior Hereford Association. You know, Pam's got some thank you cards. Any of you exhibitors, go up there by the office and inquire a little bit there. We'd appreciate it if you'd send some of these sponsors some thank you cards. It really helps us put this show on. Hey, a little bit of fresh news here. Miles Tenyas, as he's judging our show today, he's been in this country judging shows before. Miles is donating 3 units of semen out of RF Elevate, one of the most popular Charolais bulls, you know, in the breed right now. He owns him with Ritter Farms, and they're going to donate semen tonight that's going to be in that semen sale. Myers Tonias is out there sorting cattle right now. He wants to help out with this show. Hey, let's put our hands together. He's donating them to the scholarship. So give a hand to Miles. Thank you, Miles. Little side note, that bull's out of a daughter of my cow. A donation lot's coming from Ritter Farms, RJ Livestock, and Tonia's Livestock. Sorry about that. They're all three going together. That bull's really popular, and those females that are full sibs to him and out of that cow is just doing amazing things. Class 5, Davy Frost. Class 5, 0146 is your entry number. Makeup area, please. Hey, showmanship's going to be a great event this afternoon. There's a lot of kids entered in it. We're going to try to get those backdrop photos of these steers. Legacy Livestock Images is going to take those, but we're planning on only about 15 minutes for those pictures, and then we're going to start showmanship. We've got a new judge coming in to do our showmanship, so we're going to try to roll that just a little bit quicker because that showmanship's going to be awesome this afternoon.
Man, a real tough class, and I'm going to break them down to you. And I know that obviously if you're second down, that's not where you want to land. And so I got to do my job of at least describing them to you. And like I said, we eat, breathe, and sleep this man, and I know what it takes. And so it doesn't matter the level, how many shows or how many cattle are at one show, whatever it may be, this is one dang good class. So real quick, I'd ask you, I know that obviously we ain't in a champion drive, we're not in a division, whatever, but this is a very good set of cattle all the way through this class. Let's give these kids a good round of applause and show appreciation for their hard work. It's not easy by any means, and I'm going to tell you the way that I see him. The steer that I lead off with, young lady, I'm the most confident in your calf. Whenever he brings his back down and his neck comes up and out of his shoulder, it ain't just about that, but boy, he'll give you a great big look from the side. Whenever you get your hands on him, that thing is great big in terms of his loin shape. I mean, fills your whole hand. It's wide. It's long still. That calf is big in his kind, but right in his kind. She's fed him perfect. His body matches his frame. His structure's beautiful from the profile as you set him out and in motion. He is not maybe the biggest footed of these three up here and the biggest right there at the ground relative to these other two cattle right in behind him, but I think it still matches him very well. He's the freshest one on the handle. He's the freshest one in terms of his appearance out here, and then yet still, like I said, he does not lack power. You get in behind him and that thing's built like a moose. I thought he was an interesting class winner in a deep class. My compliments to her. I spent the most time between 2 and 3. Once I set the cattle in motion, I like this one's hind leg better. I just think he uses his hock better. He gets more comfortable right at the surface. He's a fat steer in the way that his body's built. He's a good handling calf whenever you get right up on top of him, or a good shaped calf. He's a big monster hip steer whenever you get in behind him as well. I read him, to me, just more confident in where he was going to set his hind leg, a little more opened up right in the base of his hip and from there to the surface than I did the steer that was right behind him. I think this calf is elitely presented. I mean, high-end fit job on this steer that's 3, and I appreciate him for it. Bringing him out like that, it's hard. I mean, that steer's right in his length of body, great big back, thick-ended, and on the stand, he's the class winner. On the move, in my opinion, his hind leg's not right. He's set up a little upright in his rear joint. He's a little flatter in terms of his lower quarter and hip, just more natural in terms of his base width. I wish he was like the calf right ahead of him. Now, if you want to say, hey, he's a rib shorter and he's bigger back than that calf, then I don't disagree with you, and you can flip that pair. I just clean that calf's crest a little, clean his throat just to shade. My biggest criticism's his hind leg. The steer that ends up third, he spit his hair probably at the wrong time, I'd say, but if it comes back to him, this calf might be as naturally wide and opened up right in the base of his framework as any of them. Beautiful looking calf, and I thought of this pair of cattle that resembled each other frame size and muscularity wise. This one was more natural in terms of his lower body, where his chest and underline is just balances better than the calf right in behind him. Now, he needs to be bigger bone, he needs to be bigger footed, and obviously, like I said, his hair's dyed on him, but looks like it's coming back. It ain't about hair, but obviously it would bring him a little stouter feature to the table. That calf needs still, to me, a bigger hind leg. He needs a bigger rear foot, and I just stout him a shade comparatively to those other 3 as you get right in behind his blade. I love the structural base in this calf that ends up next, and it pains me to put him there because in terms of his knee, his front foot, his hock, the shape of it, and the set of his rear foot, he's the best one in class, no doubt. I like the calf shape in his hip. To me, gets a little plainer right in the base of his shoulder, right in the base of his chest. And then as I step to the profile, I just can't ever get that calf to balance right. Where his chest floor sets relative to his mid-body and flank, nothing just seems to come together right. He's not quite as natural in terms of his rear rib as what he appears from the outside. And then again, to me, relative things, that calf's not as big backed as what those 3 or 4 are right there ahead of him. But I do love his quality at the ground, and I don't want to criticize him too hard. I think that's a good calf. This young lady's steer comes again, just big top, thick-ended, wide-built, and super stout. He's a little too outward up front for me. Got a little more crest and just a bit more jammed up in his front end. I want to relax his heel on the go. I like the white sock steer. This calf's great big in terms of his body, big, stout. stout in his back, big stout in his hip. He's maybe not as good right at the top of his neck. Once I stepped off of him, that calf didn't have the elite look of what did that upper end. Now, hey, still a good fat steer. I don't want to take away from him. This motion right here is going to get him in trouble. Calf's going to waddle a little to the outskirts of his body with his hind leg. But, man, he's stout, moderate, and thick, and I like that about him. This is a good calf, too, and this is what I'm talking about, the quality down the lineup. Really a nice back steer. He gets a little chest, a little more tubular about his rib. I wanted to see him just set down more confident on that left rear foot, and he wants to toe out, come in just a little too tight in his knee whenever you get up in front of him. Very good fed calf here next. Big-bodied, thick-ended, good in terms of his width of skeleton. I watched him in motion, and I thought he poked a littler foot to the ground. I wanted to see him relax on his heel. Whenever I got my hands on him, he's a little spongy in terms of his muscularity. I'd like to tone him up just a shade, just pick him up and extend him like those ones right there ahead of him. Calf that closes again, quality from the side, needs to be better built. My compliments to those kids. Dang good class. Congratulations to them all.
Yeah, nice class. Nice job, Miles. Easy to see when he gets excited, when he gets in the market steer class. He loves this business. Hey, pay him off like this. Riley Joseph's going to win that class. Jada Jansen's going to come in second. Zoe Ford's third. Violet McQuaid's fourth. Fifth goes to Carly Swink. 6, Ellie Crosscobb. 7, Kinsley Krebs. 8, Bradley Hermans. 9, Kyle Shaw. 10, Tyler Fix. That was Class 4 of the steer show. Class 5's in the ring right now. Boy, they're getting with it here. It's starting to heat up. We're going to have a great steer show. It's not a lot of classes, not a lot of number, but I tell you what, in Cheyenne, Wyoming, it's an awful good steer show today. Bringing steers in this class is Lear Hansen, Britton Kiltall, Jillian Lockwood, Ansley Kimball, Davey Frost, Jack Grove, Owen Hockaday, and Tatum Carlson's going to finish this class. Little side note in this class here, it's going from 1429 to 1485. Class 6, that's going to be our last class of steers. The makeup area is yours. Leah's getting them lined up. And then the heat's going to be on because we're going to be selecting those top 5 overall market steers. That's one thing about the market steer project. When you do a market steer project, it's long term. And if you look at the Showman app, kind of the way things go on here, we get into the prospects, and none of those calves, I shouldn't say none of them, very few of those calves have names for them. But in this class, about every steer's got a name. These young individuals spend a lot of time with their calves, and they've named them, and that's personal, and it's getting towards the end of these careers. They're starting to weigh quite a bit, those steers are. But this class, just for instance, we got some names like Big Jake, War Pig, Earl, Scooby, Presley, Toby. I tell you what, these kids do a lot of thinking, and these cattle are their buddies because they spend a lot of time throughout the year with them. Kara Sidwell and Naya Ruda. Makeup area, please. Kaya and Rida, please.
So a tough class. Again, I wish I could put them all together and just kind of make that one that's supposed to stick out and look like it's going to win. And obviously, you're going to be the favorite of one of these kids because it's probably yours. And so I don't want to get too nitpicky on them. In my opinion, I just start with the fat steer of the group of them. And I know he's a little ugly-headed. I know he's not the neatest at his crest, but that's the best body, that's the best handling, and that's the softest rib calf of them that still goes to the ground naturally, just bigger-footed than the calf that's right in behind him and just a little heavier in terms of his density, his skeleton. Again, I'd like to change him blade forward, strengthen him just a shade right in behind his blade, had him pull up to bring him back together. A nice calf to win this particular class for sure. From there, there's a little bit more challenging. I mean, you can settle in and say, hey, mine was the second best from this standpoint. Wouldn't disagree with you, but I love handling this calf that ends up second. Great big fresh back in him. Love his width of pins. That calf has the upper hand in terms of his neck set, his freshness of crest, and right in behind his blade comparatively to this steer that wins this particular class. He toes out up front. He's the most refined of these top four in terms of bone and foot size. I step in behind him. I want to drop him down in his twist. I get my hands on him. I'd like to soften his mid-body. A calf there, though, that's got a great big top in him, fresh to handle in terms of his loin, and beautiful look from the profile. Needs to stay in the top pair. And I could see some using him. I mean, just because he's prettier up front, there's no doubt about it. Black and white steer from his sheath forward's my favorite one in class. He's a big arm, big bodied steer that's great in terms of his turn of forerib, and I love him right out of the back of his shoulder. Once she gets him to poke down in the rear of his loin, his silhouette is good from a fat steer looking one. Once he gets in motion, he comes up in the rear of his loin, ducks and rolls in his pins, and then gets a little weird off of his hind leg. I step in behind the cattle. I just want to give him more natural shape at his quarter comparatively to that top pair. Like I said, though, sheath forward, things killer good in terms of body and stoutness. This guy came ready to play in terms of his presentation. I love his head and neck. The calf's got a really fresh look to him out here in terms of his hide and hair and the way that he comes presented to us. Again, stepping in behind the cattle, squaring his upper hip, little tied up in terms of his twist. I go to the ground. I don't see him as stout. I get in behind his blade, and he breaks just a shade. I want to open him up at his forerib, just blend him a little smoother from blade back, but that calf's got a great big look to him, great big turn to his lower body, being fed well, just not nearly as stout on the handle as what those other three cattle are, not nearly as powerful as you step right in behind him, and he falls into a class there where you hope that, obviously from a frame size standpoint, maybe he could scoot one class ahead of that. The one that comes here next, again, good in terms of his rib, pretty good balanced calf from the side, needs more muscle as I step in behind him. The white-hided steer is good looking up front, got a great big column of bone and big feet, too tubular about his body. Same thing with the birthmark steer, like to just soften him up at his rib, good set to his hind leg, pretty neckline up front, gets too long and tight in his rib. We got a dense made one here that finalizes, it just breaks too much in his top line. His structure is my biggest concern. Congratulations, another good class.
That was Class 5 of the market steers. Thanks, Miles. Winner, Jacks Grove. Second, Owen Hockaday. Third, Tatum Carlson. Fourth, Jillian Lockwood. Fifth, Britton Kiltile. Sixth, Lear Hansen. 7, Davy Frost. And 8th, Aisley Kimball. That'll finish Class 5. Hey, Class 6 is coming in the ring. That's going to be the last class for our market steer shows. Then we're going to crown some champions right after that. So if you got first and second in class, Be ready. We're going to crown some champions. Exhibitors in this last class are Trace Johnson, Ross Harwood, Kara Sidwell, Vienna Sells, Davey Frost, Avery Keister, New Aruda, and Tatum Carlson. Hey, an important part of the day, you guys that got checks from the Prospect Breeding Heifer Show and the Market Steer Show. As soon as we get done with showmanship, top 5, you can check with Pam at the office, fill out a W-9 for, and she's got a check ready for you. So make yourself, after showmanship, she's busy till then, but then we're going to pay you off. And congratulations to every and each and one of you. Class 6 is coming to us. 8 entries from 1489 to 1690. The moment's come. All of our first and second place class winners, makeup area, please. First and second place class winners. The cream was going to rise to the top. We're going to pick those top 5. Makeup area, please.
Very good class, and as good as it is, I like my class winner a lot, man. He's fresh handling, he's fresh looking, he's sound, he's big backed, he's thick-ended. He's got the advantage up front in terms of his look and his tie, and then as you get your hands on him, he's wider loin and bigger back than naturally in terms of his loin shape than the calf that ends up in second. He handles the ground better off of his left hind, most specifically relative to the calf that ends up in second, and just a wild-looking one whenever you step off to the profile of him. Good calf to win this particular class. The one that's second, he came in and hit me good. He's what I like in terms of body. He's the right frame size for me. He's a dense featured kind of a steer whenever you get down low on him, and I love the shape to his hip. I got my hands on him, and I didn't think that calf was just naturally as big loin as what was my class winner. I thought he washed just a little right in behind his blade. I set those cattle in motion. He'll set down good on this side. He's a little awkward off of his left hind. I don't know that it's every time, but just relative traits, and then studying him alone. But man, that calf's good. He's stout featured, big bodied, beautiful to look at from the profile. Thought a heck of a good top pair. I spent a little time between 3 and 4. I make the call that this calf's just more comfortable today. He's awesome to look at from the profile. He's the tall fronted, neat looking one out ahead of his shoulder. I love his silhouette from the profile. He's beautiful in terms of his lower body. His joints look great from the stand. I like his setup behind, love it up front. I stepped right there in behind him, and I just asked myself, does that calf come with just as much punch in his upper body, just as big in his forerib, as deep and bold in his twist and lower hip as what those other two were? I don't think so, but I still think that calf's got room to continue, get fat, and do it in the right areas, and I think that one gets real good. Heck of a top 3. Brockle-headed one standing there, I love him. He's right in his length, he's big in his back, he's a thick-ended calf. He's a little awkward right now, and I don't know if he's out in his back or what's going on, but on the move, calf's wanting to rise up in his spine and get real hard walking behind. If I could recollect his structure behind, let him settle down in his back like he is standing there, then it's probably a different story. On the go in a tough class, he's got to be better built for this guy. The one that comes here next, beautiful hind leg, great big feet. For as big as he is, she has done an awesome job of trying to get him to stay fresh. His crest is beautiful. His body line is awesome. From the side, a killer good steer. Obviously weighing in the upper 1600s, but man, he's still good. From the profile, just his chest floor back into his heart, back into his mid-body. Things don't balance as good down low. He too, again, I'd spread him right in behind his shoulder, comparatively though to those other cattle, but still alone, he's a good calf. Stout, thick-ended one right here next. Comes a little rounder in his hip, a little smaller in his feet, a little more open in his shoulder there up front as we set him out and in motion. I don't think he's just as fresh at his crest and head. The steer that comes here next, again, stouty, man, and he's built right whenever he stands there. I wish he was just better up front. I'd like to just go ahead and give him a little neater transition out there ahead of his blade. Standing, he moves up. Moving, he's got to be better up front for me. The one that comes here next, beautiful from the side, a little longer bodied, a little flatter and more tubular about his rib. Got to fix his structure. Good job. Great way to end.
Hey, that was Class 6 of the steer show. I got to get my results. As soon as I get them, I'll be the first one to let you know. We're trying to get this ready so we can have that top 5 of the market steer show, get everything lined up here, get the right cattle out here, get the right cattle picked. Miles will be getting that ready for us. Hey, let's catch up on that last class of the market beef steer show class winner, Trace Johnson. Second, Vienna Sells. Third, Davy Frost. Fourth, Avery Keister. Fifth, Tatum Carlson. Sixth, Kara Sidwell. 7, Ross Harwood. 8, Nyaruda. That's going to end the classes of this steer show. We're going to line these up. So we're lining these up. We're going to take first and seconds out there. It's going to be a really nice set of steers out there for Miles to evaluate. We're going to pay him 5 deep. 5 deep. So the tension's building. Everybody's vying for one of them top spots here. We're going to line them up, bring them in the right order. We're going to do it the right way. Jefferson says we're ready. Class winners are coming in the ring right now. Class winners. Class 1, Sawyer Sauter. Class 2, Ty Weathers. Class 3, Tatum Thompson. Class 4, Riley Joseph. Class 5, Jax Grove. Class 6, Trace Johnson. So those are the 6 that win their class. They got a chance for that first prize, but these second place steers got a chance for everything after that. Hey, let's announce these seconds. I think we're starting out with. There we go. Bo Carlson, Class 2's coming at us with that silver steer. I think after that should be followed by Tavy Miller. Class 4, second place, Jada Jensen. Class 5, second place, should be coming to us, Owen Hockaday. And that last steer class, second place coming to us is Vienna Sells. Hey, good luck to everyone. We'll let Miles evaluate them, and he's going to get us a great top 5. Nice to see all the excitement, all the anticipation of who's going to win this deal. It's really nice to look around the ring, see all the people, a lot of action, a lot of activity. We do appreciate that. After it's over, Pine Bluff Distilling's ready for you there. We're going to have some showmanship a little bit later on, but it's been a nice day so far. We're going to get done with this champion. I want to congratulate all the exhibitors for helping me keep the makeup area full. That really makes a nice job and makes a nice, snappy show. People appreciate that are watching from ringside.
Well, it's certainly been a fun day, and like I said earlier in the heifer show, prospect heifer show. You know, obviously this is a little different situation, and where these cattle are coming to their endpoint, and then where you're going to set your priorities on an endpoint fat steer has to be yours. I'm comfortable with my class winners and with my second place steers, and knowing that as well they beat good cattle in those classes. And so the only biggest thing is you just hope you describe them right to the folks, because I understand what you go through. I mean, obviously, to get here to Cheyenne, get all the things right, be here for a while, and make sure that everything happens right. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know that there's really any in between. We do this every day, and like I said earlier, absolutely love it. I mean, this is all my family thinks about, and it's one of these things that my wife always says, don't say that you can't wait. And I just got to be honest with you. I've said it a few times. My daughter, we just got back from Disney actually yesterday. We flew back in about midday. I got them back home. I turned around, got back on a plane, and came to Denver and drove up. We went and spent the week in Disney. So I need this check after I'm done judging as much as anything now, just because of the trip to Disney. It was fun though, and it made me think a lot. 2 months ago, or a little over 2 months ago, I lost my dad to an evil battle of cancer. My mom at home, she fights Parkinson's every day. And I'll just tell you, I mean, the last 2 years of my life, man, it's been challenging. But to get to judge shows and to get away a little bit, my wife understands. I mean, everybody always says, hey, one of these days you're going to get home from judging one of these things, and that wife and kid might not be there. So you better make sure you slow down a little bit. I've had this talk with my wife, and she understands it just as much as anybody, that sometimes this stuff's just needed. And maybe it's one of those things that you came to the show to win today, and I'm sorry if you didn't, but I gave it everything that I knew to, and I know that you're at least getting a fair shake at it, and you should know that too. And maybe it's one of those things that you just need to get away from some stuff every once in a while too. I take this wholeheartedly because this is what we do. This is how we make our money. I've never wanted to set a microphone in my pocket or set it down and anybody say, well, he did this because he knows this person, whatever. And I've been challenged before because I do know a lot of folks in the business, obviously. I mean, 90% of them that even show at this particular show. And I've been challenged by other people before that I just beat them because I know them. And that ain't right. And I haven't just used them because I know them either. That's never going to be right. It's supposed to be about the livestock, and it's supposed to be this kid's project. I could care less what the calf brings. I could care less who raised it, and I could dang sure care less what it's going to continue to win or what it's won before. If it's sitting here today, I judged it as professionally as I possibly could, and I gave you an honest evaluation. Now, I get it. Ain't nobody going to probably like that as much as I did whenever I lay down. 85, 95, whatever percentage of you are going to say, well, he did this wrong and he did that wrong. So be it. Don't care. Used to, not anymore. Got a 2-year-old and a wife and a family that depends on me, and I depend on this business to make sure that they have a good living. So I'm going to dang sure make sure that I do what I want every time I grab the mic. I've had fun, and I appreciate the Cheyenne Livestock Expo and what they've done, and I hope that you folks do too. And I asked earlier, and I'd ask again, let's give them a great big round of applause, putting on an incredible event. The steer show, man, I was here a couple years ago, and it was dang good. If you were around ringside, there was 5 or 6 of those cattle that were very, very good. And I think they went on and won some stuff. Maybe they didn't win as much. Some of those cattle that got beat, I watched them win from there, and I was okay with it because I know I described them on the microphone that day the way that I was supposed to and the way that I wanted to. And then still knowing that there's cattle that got beat here that'll go on to Denver, Arizona, whatever other shows that are left after this, and they could win their class, be at the top end of it, and you can say, hey, proved you wrong. You put him 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever at the Cheyenne Livestock Expo. Don't care. That's fine. I hope your kid gets along better than they did today. Very good set of cattle. I'm very comfortable with my champion. I'll rework down there 3 or 5. I've talked about them, and I can describe them all again. I think you can see the holes, and you can see the good things in them. So why do I have to reinvent the wheel for you? I don't have to be any smarter than the next guy. So I'm going to go get you some champs. Let's give these kids a great big round of applause and show appreciation for them.
Grand champion market steer, Cheyenne Livestock Expo, Trace Johnson. Congratulations. Class 4, Reserve, Riley Joseph with Okie. Class 4, congratulations, Riley.
I missed the white cap.
Six, second place. Vienna Sales, you're going to be third overall. Third overall. Congratulations. Fourth overall, Davey Frost. Congratulations. That was third in Class 6. Fifth overall, second place, Class 4. Congratulations to Jada Jensen with Sunny. Hey, that was an awesome steer show. We paid them off like that. We're going to take some pictures. Hey, just for 1 second here, join me in thanking Myos Tenias for sorting these cattle today. He's done an awesome job, explained them all to us. Join me in thanking him, and put your hands together, please.
2:45, start showmanship. What?
Showmanship, 2:45. We're going to start showmanship at 2:45. We're going to start out with that senior showmanship at 2:45.